Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Before I get started, I'd like to ask a couple of questions. Firstly, have you ever been in a scenario where you feared the opinions of others? You feared the judgment waiting for you? Or maybe, have you been in a scenario where you felt out of place because of the comments of others? Taking things to a little bit of an extreme, have you ever given up something that brought you joy, something that you thoroughly enjoyed, because of the comments left by others, mere bystanders? Well, chances are that most, if not all of us in this room, answered yes to at least one of those questions. Chances are that most, if not all of us in this room, in one way or another, have been impacted by social validation. But the question stands, perhaps the most important question of all: what exactly can we do about it? While taking a brief detour, in preparation for today, I sifted through hundreds of TED Talks, ranging from the key to confidence to the power of life letters, and many helpful tips in ways to master YouTube's algorithm. My search spanned a vast array of topics, all showing the brilliance of the human mind and population. Yet despite this, I struggled to come up with a topic that was not only relatable, but authentic and worthwhile. It was in the middle of this deliberation that I donned a wig. With bright hues of orange and red and brown, it was a personal experiment that I affectionately dubbed #Operation Ice Spice. The first day of my newfound experiment was met with a flurry of compliments, all affirming my new look that I was quickly growing to love. But by the second and third day, I became acutely aware of the prolonged stares, the jabs to friends, and against a sea of blonde, brown, and black hair, I felt different, out of place. I continued to wear the wig, but by the fourth day, a realization struck me with profound clarity. You see, despite my accomplishments and accolades, in that moment, I had unwillingly, and quite frankly, unconsciously tethered my self-worth to the opinions and comments I had received from strangers. Wearing the wig again gave me more time to not only wallow in my growing sadness, but also more time to talk to other friends whom felt free to share their own similar experiences. One friend in particular, I'll call her Adele, is a fantastic singer. I mean, when she begins to sing, she enchants everyone, myself included, with her voice. Yet, one day, about a year ago, a stranger, completely oblivious to her proximity and who had never met her before, criticized her performance at the talent show the day before. And for the next 2 months, she stopped singing in public altogether. After that experience, her opinion on her talent, her desire to continue to share her gift with the world, stopped. Another one of my friends, Marcus, is a completely exceptional young person. As one of the youngest persons in his workspace, and one of the youngest employees in that space. The first few weeks of his new job were met with numerous compliments from peers and superiors alike. Yet, as he became more accustomed and acclimated to that new environment, praises stopped. And for a while, he believed that the lack of praise, the lack of validation, was a direct reflection on his inability, his growing inadequacies, and caused him to doubt his an opportunity to take up space within that new environment. With deeper reflection, it becomes more and more apparent how the eyes in my story, in Adele's story, in Marcus's story aren't just eyes. You see, with deeper reflection, a constant in all of our experiences is the constant pursuit of social validation. Taking another detour, when we describe childhood, puberty, and eventually the teenage experience, central to all of our definitions are the need for relationships, the need for teenagers to eventually gain a sense of belonging from the people around them, the need for them to quite literally work towards social validation. Yet oftentimes within this definition, we cease to forget that social validation isn't just a teenage phase. Evolutionary speaking, it's something that has profound and very entrenched roots. Taking a step back in time, our ancestors lived in tight-knit groups in harsh and often unforgiving environments, quite literally being able to appease to a collective and a group and having to face the pressures associated with that ensured survival. Being able to come together and the need to come together ensured that a collective was created, that they were able to fend off predators, forage, and eventually raise offspring. The need for social validation ensured our survival. Yet outside of prehistoric times, it's something that continues to have very profound and very real consequences in our lives. With the advent of social media, it's taken on a new form, with the number of likes and comments and even followers dictating how socially validated an individual can be. As a result, people are not only forced to appeal to that by portraying an alternate and most times false version of themselves, they feel inadequate when they're not able to meet up to the standards of strangers. Quite literally, at our fingertips, we have access to millions of opinions just waiting to be shared, millions of judgments waiting to be placed on our lives. But moving on to perhaps the most important question of all, what exactly can we do about this? A simple Google search will give answers such as building one's confidence, removing the things that cause us to doubt ourselves, and being able to take up space unapologetically, raising your self-esteem. And yes, those are all very valid and important ways to combat this issue as a whole. But for many people, especially those since childhood, have been crippled by the phenomenon called social validation. All of those solutions aren't something that they can automatically adopt. Confidence isn't a switch that can be turned on just like that. So, with this in mind, I'd like to suggest something that may not be particularly revolutionary or new, but something I, again, affectionately name with another hashtag. Hashtag 30 days of discomfort. I promise this is the last hashtag I'll be using. But what this challenge or method entails, as the name suggests, is 30 days where individuals intentionally immerse themselves in something challenging for about 5 minutes each day. And unlike the other solutions I mentioned earlier, with this solution, we're encouraging people to take small steps that can be taken right now. With these small steps, we're not only slowly and gradually developing our mental fortitude, but we're doing things that bring us joy, bring us fulfillment over a longer period of time. In fact, today is day 32 of my own personal journey on this challenge, and giving this TED Talk is my uncomfortable activity of the day. But with all of this said, With taking this challenge and slowly immersing oneself within 5 minutes of discomfort altogether, while social validation is this huge phenomenon and huge thing to understand, we can slowly but surely equip ourselves with the tools to eventually undermine its influence in our lives. We can slowly but surely not have to give up things that bring us joy because we fear what other people might say. And unlike what I did, literally taking off that wig, slowly but surely, we'll be able to reach a point in our lives where we don't have to remove or to conform to the things that people have said. And so I encourage all of us to take the opportunity to do that, even right now. And this can look like a bunch of different things. This can look like saying hello to a stranger, sparking a new conversation without the fear of being rejected or turned down, not having a smile returned, or something as simple as taking a cold shower. With little steps, we can slowly but surely fend off the beast that is social validation. And so I hope all of you feel inspired to go on your own personal journeys of discomfort, to gradually, for about 5 minutes, do something each day until one day we can look in the mirrors and see and proudly say that the need for social validation has no impact on our lives. Thank you.